Hello grade 8s and welcome back after half term, and we're still with equations and we're going to stick, and there's one slightly new thing that we'll be doing later in the week, but these first things are really what we've been doing before. So I'm going to run through two examples. The one's going to give us a fraction answer, the other one you're going to see it doesn't matter if we solve left or right, and then if you can please hand in just 4 questions on Google Classroom. I really need to see your written work and see how you're doing. Okay. So we've got our equation given to us here. We've got 7x plus 4 over here, and we're going to call that the left-hand side because it's the left-hand side of the equal sign up there somewhere, right? So we've got the left-hand side equal to 3x plus 9, and that's our right-hand side. Okay, so left-hand side equals right-hand side, just so that we can always talk about left-hand side, right-hand side. Now, in our equation, we've got 7x plus 4. Now, what we've been doing is trying to eliminate some of these things. So to start with, I want to show how we're going to eliminate this plus 4 that's up here. So we've got a plus 4 and I want to eliminate it. How am I going to eliminate it? Okay, well, I'm hoping that you've said, well, it was a plus 4, so kind of the opposite is minus 4. So whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. So we're going to subtract 4. Now I'm using a little cheat, just writing it above, not a cheat but a shorthand way of writing this. Please, if you'd rather write 7x plus 4 minus 4 equals and write it out that way, beautiful, but I'm just saving a bit of space and our concept's still there nicely. So we've got 7x plus 4. So what are we left with on the left hand side now? Well, we left just with that 7x because we've said, well, the plus 4 minus 4 just gives us 0. So in other words, we just left with 7x. On the right hand side, 3x. These we can't add or subtract, the 3x and the 4s and the 9s. Those have got x's, those don't. And then we just look at this rest and say, well, what's plus 9 minus 4? Well, I also get plus 5. 9 minus 4. Got our number lines at the ready here to go, well, 9, if we're subtracting 4, we're going left. So we're left at 5. Great stuff. So we've got 7x equals 3x plus 5. Now, we'd got x's on the left-hand side, but no constants, no non-x terms. And on the right-hand side, we've got x's and constants. So we don't want those 3x's there. So how do we eliminate those 3x's from the right-hand side? What do we need to do? Well, we need to subtract them, just like we did with that 4. So let's subtract that 3x. We don't have any x's on the right-hand side anymore. And what we do on one side, we do on the other. So on the left-hand side, we've got 4x, because we had 7x minus 3x gives us 4x. 7 minus 3 is 4, equals 3x minus 3x is nothing, plus 5 equals 5. Okay, and now, and this is stuff we've been doing, but now the slight difference. So 4x equals 5. Now previously we just said, well, this is easy because what do we need to do to this left-hand side? So we've got this 4x over here. Now, I don't want 4x, I want to know what x is. It's not 4x, but what's x? So what can I do? It's going 4 times x. So what's kind of the opposite of 4 times x so that we can just have x on the left-hand side? Yeah, we can divide it. And here's why I said instead of using the divide sign, we're going to divide by 4, because on the left-hand side, we're just going to be left with x. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other, so we divide by 4. What's 5 divided by 4? Well, it's 5 over 4. It's just a fraction, but we don't have to get scared away by the fraction because 5 over 4 is 5 over 4. And we didn't have to think, oh, divide by 4, does 4 go into 5? So this idea of just going over 4, perfect. And we're kind of doing this sneaky little, well, those things cancel. I'm doing a lot of air quotey things just to say those are the ideas of what we're doing, but maybe not perfectly mathematical and saying things cancel, but we know what we mean. Okay, so we've got one more example here. That is solving equations, and I'll show you it doesn't matter which way around you go. So we're going to solve the same equation, but we're going to do it twice. So we've got on the one side here, and then we've got to repeat it on this side. So let's solve this. I'm going to move my, oh, not that. I'm going to move myself over here so that we can try and do the same idea. Maybe we can point to things. Okay, so we got ourselves here, and let's check we're still on track. So 3x minus 4 equals 8x plus 11. New equation. Now go ahead and solve the whole thing through, and then so you can pause, solve it, see how you do, and go, okay, so in this case we've got minus 4, and from this minus 4 up here we want to say, well, what's the opposite of minus 4, so we can eliminate that minus 4. Well, yeah, we can just plus 4, because minus 4 plus 4 gives us 0, so we'd just be left with 3x on the left hand side. Don't worry, now you're worried to say, well, whatever you do on one side, indeed. So we plus 4, so let's plus 4 over here. So on the right hand side, 8x is still 8x, and 11 plus 4 gives us 15. Okay, now we said, well, we've got these 3x's, where they're the 3x over here, and then that's on the left hand side, and the right hand side we've got 8x. So we don't want this 8x over here. We want this 8x to disappear. Goodbye. How are we going to make it disappear? Well, yeah, we can just subtract 8x. So let's do that. If we subtract 8x, whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. So 8x minus 8x, there are no x's anymore. We've just got 15, a positive 15. And 3x minus 8x, well, let's have a little number line here, just in case. We got 3, we subtracting 8, 3 minus 8, you jump your way there to get minus 5, and of course, there are those nifty rulers hiding around. So we've got minus 5x. Now things look odd because we've got minus 5x. What do? Same strategy we've always been doing. Got our minus 5x, well, what's that in front of the x? What we call the coefficient. Well, it's negative 5. So therefore, what do we need to divide this by? Well, if we divide it by negative 5, and whatever we do on one side, we do on the other, then this negative 5 will cancel with that, and we just left with x. So that same idea is always going to hold. Just divide by what's in front of the x, the coefficient. And 15 divided by negative 5, love it. Oh, let's get ourselves some space, negative 3. Okay, now let's solve this equation. So I'm going to say, pause, solve the equation, but I want you, in your last step, you're going to have x on the right-hand side this time. So give it a go, and then I'm going to run through it without pausing the video and just saying, let's run through it. Okay, so we got minus 4 over here, so let's do this and see how well. Let's move me over here and say, we've got our 3x minus 4 equals 8x plus 11. So in this case, I want the x's on this side and no x's on this side. And I'm going to have all the numbers on this side and eliminate them from this side. So let's start by eliminating that 11. So we've got a plus 11. So the opposite of plus 11, minus 11. So that's minus 11. What we do on one side, we do on the other. So we've got 3x minus 4 minus 11 is minus 15 equals 8x is still 8x plus 11 minus 11, those cancel out. Okay, now we said that we've got x's on this side and x's on this side, and we don't want these 3x on this side. We want to just have x's on the left hand side. So the 3x, what can we do to eliminate that 3x? Well, we can just subtract it. So minus 3x minus 3x. Okay, so on the left hand side, we've just got negative 15. On the right hand side, 8x minus 3x, 5x. And our same strategy is going to hold here. What's sitting what's sitting in front of the x? So there's the x, and in front of it is a 5. So we're going to divide by 5. So let's do that. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. These 5s are going to kind of cancel. So we just left with x minus 15 or negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. Same answer, x equals negative 3. Doesn't matter what order it says, minus 3 equals x or x equals minus 3. We get the same answer either way. It really does not matter which way around you do it, because you're just dividing by this coefficient at the end. So really up to you. Don't worry which way around you go. None of them is right or better than the other. So that's that. Few exercises, 4 questions for you to please do. Hand you on Google Classroom. Have fun.